Welcome to our quick introduction to AP Classroom, or more specifically to getting your account set up for the College Board and for AP Classroom. And it's worth knowing that this is the same account that you would use for SATs, PSATs, things like that. So you might already have one set up. And if you do, you're going to skip the setup process, but just log in and make sure that you have all of your credentials set up and you know how to get in and things like that. If you do not, which is also a distinct possibility, matter of fact, more likely than not, that you do not have it set up, here's what you're going to do. So you're going to click on this link up here that says AP Classroom, and when you do, it's going to open up this right here. You're going to click on Student. Oops, I lied. If you have an account, you'll click on Student, and it'll prompt you to log in. If you don't have an account, I'm going to go back here just so I can show you. You're going to click on Create Account. Okay. Then you're going to click on Student. And then you're going to go through and you're going to fill in all of this information. And this is going to take some time. Okay, this is going to take some time. It might take half an hour, 40 minutes or so to do. Things worth knowing. Okay, things worth knowing. Number one, when it asks for your name, you want to give them your legal name. That is to say, the name as it appears on your learner's permit, your driver's license, your birth certificate. Okay, even if literally nobody in the world ever calls you that, that's what you want to put in, because that's what they're going to use to as they forward your information as you get older. And it's very hard to change this if you goof it up. You're going to end up having to make a phone call to College Board to get this changed. Okay, so for example, for me, my legal first name is Christina. Only person who calls me that, true story, is my 90-plus-year-old grandmother. Nobody, and I do mean nobody, ever calls me that. Preferred first name, that's where I can put the one that I go by. That's Chris. All right, that's the one that everybody other than my grandmother calls me. Okay, so this is the one that, for example, I will see as your teacher, that anybody else might see, right? That's what they'll use in their communications to you. But you do want that legal first name, right? Same thing with the last name. Even if you use a different last name than what's on your paperwork, right? Your birth certificate, your driver's license, put in what's on your ID, put in what's on your birth certificate. If it's hyphenated, put both names. If you choose to go by a step-parent's name, but you've never legally gotten it changed, put your original name. Okay? Again, this is what they're going to use to track you. It needs to match all of your documentation for when you're potentially applying for colleges and things like that. Okay. And then you're going to go through and answer questions. Anything with the star needs to be answered. Okay. For an email address, what you want to do in a perfect world is use a private email address. That means one not associated with school, right? So like I might use, oops, this is one of my private email addresses, right? I might use that one. If you do not have a private email address that's not affiliated with school, two things you can do. One, you can go set one up. Really easy to do through something like Google or a similar service, right? Rocket Mail, things like that. Lots and lots of potential options to set up an email address. You can do that just so that you've got it. They're handy to have later on. The other thing you can do for right now is go ahead and give it your school email address, and then you can change it later in a year or two once you've gotten a personal one set up. Either way is fine. Okay. You're going to go through and answer all the questions, like I was saying. Up to you if you want to collect information about College Board programs. Okay. If your parents are going to want information about College Board programs to help you, right, you can put their name and information in. And last but not least, make sure that you click that term that says you're going to agree to the terms for students. As you can see, there's a lot of pages here. That's why I said it's going to take you some time, a good half an hour, 45 minutes, something like that, to get this all set up. At some point, it may ask you if you have a course code. If you don't have it, skip it. That's easy to add in later. And I will make sure that you get it when you need it. Okay. But I'm shooting this right now at the end of June, and I don't have next year's course code set up. So I can't just give that to you as part of this video. All right. Once you've got that set up, you're going to go back over here to Canvas. And you're going to turn this in. And what you're going to do when you turn it in, right? You're going to tell me a little bit about what you did with your summer. You're going to let me know if you have any questions about the setup process. And you're going to tell me that you actually got logged into AP Classroom. Okay? So you were able to get your account all set up. If you weren't, say that, because then you and I need to do some troubleshooting. We can do that if we need to. Not a huge deal, but does need to happen. We need to do this sooner rather than later, because this is how you're registering for the big end of year test. All you need to know about the test for today is that it's happening and that you need to get logged in and signed up for it. Don't worry, we've got plenty of time. It's not till May. All right, see you in class.